Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with 4-0 cruiserweight Nathan Quarless. We're here at the Salisbury ABC in Liverpool, affectionately known of course as the Solly, legendary Liverpool fight gym. And is it right that you were the first pro to debut from the Solly?
Yeah, back in March 12th it was, last year. There was a lot of pressure on me at the time, especially with being the first and all the success the club has had in the amateur scene, so I had a lot riding on my shoulders, but it's been going well.
And you're of course the nephew of Nathan Quarless, Liverpool local fight legend, heavyweight of course, got some really notable wins on his record, kind of a fight anyone type back in his day. How involved has he been with you growing up and in your decision to take boxing seriously?
To be honest, not much really. It's been me dad and my uncle Mark. They've been a big help with me. My dad was the one who got me into boxing and made me not want to sit in the house all the time. He used to drag me to the gym, so I can only thank my dad and obviously my mum as well for putting me into boxing to defend myself, and then it just went from there really.
How old were you when you started, and how aware were you that your uncle had been this kind of cult fight figure in Liverpool?
I've always known that he was a fighter. My dad used to show me the clips of him on YouTube, and I think I've always been around boxing, and then I really started when I was 13. I remember my dad coming into my room one day, and I think I would have been playing on the Xbox, and I used to be playing footy and stuff, and he said, give me 3 options. Do I want to go back to running, back to footy, or do I start boxing? And then I just thought I'm gonna give boxing a go, and the rest is history now.
Give us a quick rundown of your amateur record and achievements as an amateur before you turned over.
I think it was 19 fights, 13 or 14 wins. Beat some good kids, PJ Stubbs, Tom Pogson, all top 10 opponents, and then won the North title, and then semis of the ABAs twice, only getting beat by Shavlin Clark in the year I turned pro. So it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it's obviously in the pro game now, and I can hope to go on to bigger and better things.
If you only lost to Achievon, who's obviously Team GB, no shame in that. Why did you not stay amateur for a bit longer? Maybe try and get some more international representation.
I was looking on turning pro before the ABAs, and it ended up falling through, and then we done the ABAs and got to the semis, and I got removed from the England squads. Don't know, I think they got caught. I was wanting to turn pro, and then obviously spoke to Steve Woods and signed with him, and then they come back and said, do you want to fight on the GB Championships in December? But I'd already made my decision to go pro, and I just stuck with it then, and I'm enjoying every second of it now. It's started to get a bit stale in the amateurs, and it's brought the fire back into me that I want to succeed, and I'm 23 now, and I want to start pushing on and making some big money and getting known and getting titles.
So you're 4-0 at the moment. You haven't lost a round, fighting obviously journeyman as it's a very early part of your career. You haven't had any stoppages yet, which is probably an unfair reflection, because I think the guys you fought have hardly ever been stopped. I think one of them was 4 stoppages and about 110 losses. Do you ever think, just to the matchmakers or to your manager, get me someone who's going to come to fight a bit more, even though it's early in your career, so you can show your power and explosivity a bit more?
It has been like that. We thought the Ken Capuchin was going to be that opponent. Obviously, we've watched a lot of clips of him on YouTube, and obviously he's involved in Bellator as well. And he gives everyone good fights and takes rounds off people, and gets beat by 1 point. So we thought that he was going to come and give us a really tough fight, and just never happened. Didn't turn out that way on the day. Just controlled the fight from the start really. It's weird because I'm only 4-0, but I already want to start pushing on and getting good fights and people throwing back, because it is hard when you're in there, when people are throwing back at you, and you're trying everything to draw them, especially in the last fight. You can see I'm trying everything to draw them in to throw at me, so I can come back with counters and shots that obviously stop them. But got to just keep going and obviously make sure that when I do step up, it's the right time, and I'm not rushing anything, because you know I'm still only young, but it's like that now. Like, obviously I want to push on, but the people around me, you know, want me to go at a nice steady pace, so I can only take the decisions from the coaches and my manager.
How do you analyse the British cruiserweight scene at the moment? Like, who are the guys that you most respect or admire, and where do you see yourself in the mix?
You know, Coley, you can't fault the man. You know, he's not ducked anyone. He's on, I don't know, 10 fights. He's fought you know, Isaac Chamberlain, Luke Watkins, you know, all these, Matty Askin, you know, all these people, you know, quality fighters. So obviously he's number one. Matty Askin, I've done a lot of rounds at Matty. He's a great fighter. I'm looking forward to seeing him back in there as well. And then I think the rest, it's a lot of unknown territory, really, how good everyone is. I think Dillian White's boy, Richard, I think he's gonna burst onto the scene as well. So it's exciting times in the cruiserweight, especially in Britain. And you know, it's some good matches to be made over the next couple of years.
And how far away are you from challenging maybe for an area belt or an English title, that kind of level?
I'm probably gonna have a 4-rounder in June, and then after summer, I have a 6-rounder, maybe one more, and then go for me 8, and then hopefully I'll be ready then for Central Area or even an English title come end of next year. And that's the plan I want to go for anyway, and push on for titles at the end of next year, and then so on then. So hopefully it'll be a good couple of years for me.
Another kind of well-known cruiser contender at the moment locally is Craig Glover, of course. I believe you shared quite a lot of rounds sparring with him. Tell us about that sparring, and also could that potentially be a big local fight down the line? Yeah,
potentially. If we both keep winning, obviously he's a lot far ahead of me at the minute in terms of where he's at. You know, he could propel onto bigger things, and you know, he might have a British title by the time I'm ready for one. So it'd be a great fight, and we've had some good spars. You know, he teaches me a lot. You know, he's tough, and it would be a good fight. So let's hope we keep winning. There's quite a few lads in Liverpool who are my weight, and you know, it's all eventually we are going to all fight each other, and it's obviously good for the city and good for the sport. So whoever comes out on top really is, you know, it's going to go on to big things.
And just before we let you go, people that are watching this and don't know too much about you, how can they get in touch with you or follow you on social media?
Mainly my Instagram. I deleted my Twitter when I first went pro, just in case anything was on there. I've got it back now, but I haven't got many followers on there like I used to have. So on Instagram it's Nathan Quarless. Just want to say a big thanks to our sponsors as well. You know, Sue Porter, been a massive help. Mark O'Brien with TNS Developments, Conor O'Brien, Grace Strength and Conditioning, Tony Greenwood, A&R Facilities and Herbal Health, and Mark Harrison at Kensington Field. So, you know, without these people, it's hard. You know, I think everyone's in my position as obviously not on the big shows where you're not having to work. You know, we're training 2-3 times a day, and then we're having to go to work, and it's tiring. So it just gives us a bit of respite with sponsors. And
so are you working at the moment?
Yeah, I am. Just a support worker. I'll do about 30 hours, and I've been doing that for about 5 years. It's good, and it helps me with my training as well, because I can work around it. So
what sort of things do you do?
Look after an autistic lad. It's been great, and
that must be pretty rewarding work.
No, it is. Yeah, it's great, and you know, it gives you an insight of other things other than if I was just boxing. You know, I'm having to work and having to come here and then go back to work. It's mentally it's tough, but at the end of the day you can look back and go, you've done something worthwhile. And I think support working was, especially for me, is very good.
How did you get into that?
It was me dad got me into it. I was 19 as when I first said I weren't going to continue with like school, go to uni, and I needed a job to get me by, especially as an amateur. You don't really know what's going to happen. So I ended up doing a bit of support work, and then 5 years later, I'm still doing it and still enjoying it. So
have you been working with the same kid for most of that time?
Yeah, been with the lad for 4 years now, so I know it's pretty comfortable, and it's like you said, it's rewarding, and I can't thank the company enough. And
is he aware of what you do, like that you're a boxer?
No, I don't think so. He's severely autistic, so I don't think he have a clue, but he enjoys it. We bring him here as well. He plays around the ring, and that he really enjoys the gym. So we're teaching a little bit of boxing. So it's great stuff, and that's it really. Yeah. That's what I'm about.
Well, we wish you the very best of luck. I'm sure a lot of people will be wanting to follow you after this. So yeah, best of luck in June and going forward.